In today's video, I will present the results of our recent survey where we asked our community to vote for the worst P2P lending platforms. Before we start, you should know that this video is no investment advice. Even if a platform is not on the naughty list, it doesn't mean it's safe. P2P lending is risky on any platform and you must monitor the developments and follow up with the latest news. Alright, so based on the study's results, here are the worst P2P lending platforms in 2024. The first place goes to Landmarket. This platform has been selected by 25.5% of the respondents as the worst in the industry. The second place goes to Estate Guru with nearly 21% of the votes, and the third place goes to Reinvest24 with 15% respectively. This chart shows which platforms got the most votes as the worst P2P lending sites. Outside of the worst three platforms, respondents also selected Mintos, Crowdesser and Bosser, as well as few other P2P lending sites. We have also asked our respondents to share the reasons for the worst P2P lending platforms, and here are the results with the most votes. Many defaulted and delayed loans are the main reasons that have a negative impact on investors. This is also why we publish a monthly overview of the best and worst performing platforms where we highlight those variables. Those factors have also a massive weight on our rating, which is constantly updated to reflect the performance of the loan portfolios. Outside of the poorly performing loans, not honoring the buyback obligation is also one of the main characteristics of the worst P2P lending platforms. Poor communication, bad risk management, and blocking withdrawals are also negative events that decrease the overall perception of a P2P lending site. You can interpret this list also as a checklist of possible negative events to look out for. If you see any of those events happening on the platform you are investing on, you should perhaps rethink your strategy. Let's now briefly cover the top 3 worst P2P lending platforms in 2024. Landmarket is leading the race for the worst platforms. Most respondents are not happy with the number of delayed loans, the non-fulfillment of the buyback obligation, or the blocking of withdrawals through pending payments. Landmarket has been doing nothing outside of constantly pushing its cashback bonuses and locking investors with the highest interest rates in the industry. The frequent changes in management and the lack of communication of important information are reasons to stay away from this platform. With over 20% of votes, Estate Guru has been selected as the second worst platform due to the high number of defaulted loans in Germany and the Baltics. Many respondents also highlighted the poor risk management of the platform. This outcome is not really a surprise for most of the viewers, as we have been covering the poor performance of the platform for most of the past year. Moving on to Reinvest24, which got the third spot on the naughty list. Reinvest24 has been selected as one of the worst platforms because of the many defaulted and delayed loans due to the platform's poor risk management. Several investors also pointed out the poor communication as well as the suspicion of fraud as reasons why the platform is performing so badly. For most of the past year, Reinvest24 has been silent about the developments of its portfolio. While the company faces legal actions with its borrower and shareholder Kirsan in Moldova, the platform also faces massive issues in Spain. It looks like the platform has no insights about the Spanish portfolio since it was managed by a local management team which was replaced last year. Some investors even submitted information that suggests that Reinvest24 may have raised funds for projects in Spain that were not realized. Based on publicly available information, the sum of funds in recovery from Landmarket, Estate Guru and Reinvest24 is around 181 million euros, and that's a lot of money at risk. Of course, the real number may be higher or lower based on the data you are looking at, since the available information is rather limited. During our survey, we also asked the community to vote for platforms that will likely stop their operation this year. Most respondents think that Landmarket will go out of business, followed by Reinvest24 and Estate Guru. These are actually very interesting results, as they are not so far-fetched considering the information investors have access to. Landmarket has been following shady practices for most of the past year. Since the platform is blocking the withdrawals with undisclosed amounts of funds in pending payments, many investors are not able to exit. Judging by the statistics page, there are likely more withdrawals as incoming funds on Landmarket, a company controlled by Creditstar, which also raises funds through Monefit SmartSaver. It's entirely possible that the funds from Monefit SmartSaver are being used to repay investors on Landmarket, as Monefit's assets under management are growing due to a 5% commission payout to all the influencers. Monefit SmartSaver is even a larger black box than Landmarket, and Creditstar can use the funds as they see fit. Of course, This strategy would indicate that Creditstar runs a Ponzi scheme where the platform uses incoming funds to repay the interest or principal of other investors. No one outside of Creditstar's management knows for a fact what is going on, so investors can only speculate. Many respondents also believe that Reinvest24 will close shop this year. Based on the available information, this is a likely scenario. The ongoing legal dispute with Kherson has caused plenty of reputational damages to the company. Being buried with legal fees for the upcoming years won't likely yield anything positive for investors. If it proves to be true that the platform was embezzling funds in Spain, then the company is finished anyway. Recovering the remaining 50% of the portfolio, which seems to be still performing, will become another challenge. Like Landmarket, Reinvest24 is not properly informing the community about the ongoing developments, leading to further speculations and negative sentiment. Some respondents believe that Estate Group will also stop its operations this year as it won't be able to bear the high default rate anymore. Even though the recoveries are very slow, it seems like something is happening on Estate Group even in limited capacity. The platform still manages to fund between 5 and 7 million euro of loans per month, while also investing resources into the platform's IT infrastructure. If they were planning to shut down, there would likely be a complete radio silence. Of course, I can be wrong. Maybe the CEO will agree to an interview where we ask him about the current situation. So that's been the overview of the worst platforms based on the votes from the community. There are a lot of important lessons that you can learn here. You can use the insights in this video to further improve your own due diligence process and the monitoring practices of the platforms in which you are invested in. While I wish for everyone not to lose money by investing in loans, the industry attracts many questionable characters with no moral compass, which is often the reason why platforms fail. While research and monitoring can help to lower your risk, you should also prioritize diversification across various asset classes and regions. Putting all your eggs in one basket is a very bad idea, especially in the P2P lending industry. If you have any questions or concerns about anything covered in this video, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.